Hello, beautiful people. My name is Amanda Zitto. If you're new here, I make motorcycle travel vlogs. I make content about motorcycle camping and general encouragement for you to get out and do the thing. I am currently on the flight south, my second cross-country trip. I will be riding from Sacramento, California to Tampa, Florida and back. If you're wondering why I'm crazy enough to not only ride across the country once on a 500cc motorcycle, but twice, it's because the addictive part of these long trips is the test of endurance and always pushing what I think that I'm capable of and being pleasantly surprised by how much I am capable of, even if I didn't realize it before. But that being said, let's go back to day one of this trip, which was a test unto itself. Maybe not a test of endurance, but definitely a test. Good morning, beautiful people. It is the first day of the flight south. We are here in Sacramento. The wonderful That One Guy has been very gracious enough to let me stay with him and park my truck at his house. And now I'm going to submit him to the torture test of riding with me for the day. Oh, we got a lot of miles to cover, so let's do the thing. I'm in heaven. This is the best thing ever. We made it to Sonora. We had lunch at a wonderful place called Ember's Woodfire Pizza. It was delicious. The gal called us ninjas, so Eric is over here living up to his nickname. But that time has come. We're gonna part ways. Eric's gonna head back home, and I'm gonna head on to, the goal is Kern River today. I don't know if I'm gonna get that far, but I'm gonna try. Thank you so much for riding with me. I appreciate it. And all of your hospitality. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you. Let's hit the road. Well, after backtracking twice, it's official. I lost my Stetson. It's somewhere between Sonora and LaGrange, California. I'm not stoked right now. But everything will be fine. It could have been worse. Turns out the first day of the flight south was one of the rough ones. Started out great, like wonderful. Eric, That One Guy, was very, very kind and let me stay with him and his family, and they were very gracious enough to allow me to park my truck at their house for like the whole month that I'm gonna be gone on this trip. I got to ride with Eric from Sacramento to Sonora, California. We had awesome wood-fired pizza at Embers in Sonora. It was cold, but it was an enjoyable ride. I'm not like it felt really, really good to be on the bike again. We came back out. I discovered that I lost one of the mounting screws. Well, technically two of the mounting screws for my new auxiliary lights. They just worked their way out. 70 miles. It took 70 miles for those screws to work. That's besides the point. And so I said goodbye to Eric and he went home and I continued south. Like my goal was supposed to be Bakersfield today. I want to say 20 miles south of Sonora. I checked my mirror. I just kind of periodically check my mirror to make sure that like the duffel and everything on the back of the bike is still there. And my stomach dropped because my hat was gone. I didn't want to talk about it on camera at that point. That hat has a lot of sentimental value to me. It just sucked. So I backtracked. I drove all the way back to Sonora on the side of the road. Couldn't find it. Drove all the way back to where I was when I noticed that I lost it from Sonora. So I backtracked twice essentially. Did the same road that I rode twice. Killed about 2.5, almost 3 hours trying to find that hat. With no luck. It's officially gone. Yep. I know if you're watching this, you're just like, that is just a hat, Amanda. But I've had that hat for quite a while, and it's gone a lot of places with me, and it has like a lot of sentimental value. And I'm being silly. Just very frustrating. So I've got quite the mileage to do tomorrow to get to Joshua Tree. I have reservations in Joshua Tree and I'm supposed to meet some friends there. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to count the good parts of the day. Riding with Eric, good food, just feeling great to be traveling on the bike again. That feels really good. Grateful to have found a room without too much hassle, and it's a Holiday Inn, and everybody knows Holiday Inns are my favorite. Not sponsored. I'm in a nice cozy room. I am warm. I'm out of the cold. It's quite chilly outside. California, I thought you were supposed to be warmer than this. It didn't rain today. It doesn't make losing my hat suck any less, but it's important to remember all the good things that happened and not focus so much on the bad stuff. I think I'm going to make myself a calming cup of tea and try to calm all of this anxious and try to go to bed and get an early start tomorrow because I have a few miles to go, a little bit further than I thought that I was going to do tomorrow. And that's okay. Everything will be fine. Good night, guys. Good morning, beautiful people. Day 2 already looks a lot better. Grabbed myself some breakfast and stole some fruit for the road from the breakfast display. And I'm gonna get the bike packed up. Let's do this. It's 39 degrees outside. We got this. Look, you guys, I, for once in my life, found a park to take my morning break at. This is revolutionary. Don't get used to it. I may revert back to my old ways, and the next break that I take may be in a strip mall parking lot. Who knows? It's the variety for me. We have made it to Selma, California. It is 50 degrees. Still pretty chilly when you're going 70 miles per hour. Got out of the hotel, probably the earliest that I have ever gotten out of a hotel before this morning. I left at 8:44. I hope that you're proud of me. Which means that I had to get up at 6:45 so that I could get up, get dressed, have breakfast, and then load the bike. And it always takes me an hour to load the bike, no matter what I do. whether it's at camp or if I stay at a hotel, because I take everything off the bike when I stay at hotels because I just don't trust people. And also a huge thank you to Carrie for buying me my kryptonite lock that I put on my disc last night, knowing that nobody would be able to just walk off with my bike. Holiday Inns are wonderful, and I have never stayed at one that didn't let me park my bike under the awning so that the front desk can see it, but it's just an extra peace of mind knowing that nobody can just walk away with my bike. Also, pro tip, if you stay in hotels, always grab the fruit so that you can have it for your morning snack. Extra pro tip, if you have an extra buff, wrap your fruit in the buff so that it doesn't get all bruised up in your bags. So, I'm gonna sit here and have my snack and then we'll hit the road again. Also, today is feeling much better than yesterday, but the bar was pretty low. Made it! And look who's here! It's Jess from Sound Mind Adventures. I'm so glad that you're here. I feel a lot less awkward coming to a public campground with a lot of other people, knowing that there was going to be somebody here waiting for me, so thank you.
Yeah, sure. I feel like the greeting party.
I rolled in and she was just getting off of a hike. It was like perfect.
Yeah, carrying my chair because you never know when you need a chair.
Ironically, I actually left my chair at home this trip. I don't have one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was thinking about like the overland trip. I used it once and I'm
Oh.
like, that wasn't worth
Oh,
the
yeah.
space
Oh,
and
yeah.
weight.
I
Like,
need my chair.
yeah.
Yeah.
Priorities are important. Mine is all of the cameras. So many cameras. Anyway, I'm gonna take advantage of the light and get my tent up before it gets dark. Doing the thing.
Call it off and don't look back. Take me off this lonely track. All my worries of yesterday, I can't seem to get away. We were golden, turning blue. I thought you could see it too. Through our hands it slipped away. We were never here to stay. We were so wild and free. We were just kids in love. I gave you the best of me.
Actual first night camping on this trip. Very excited. I have the Rumple for its intended purpose and I have engaged Cape mode and it's amazing. I'm going to make minestrone tonight. I dehydrated it and Food Saver packed it and everything. Anyway, I got this recipe off of Fresh Off the Grid, so I'm super stoked to actually get to test it in the wild. It's very exciting. Well, dinner was delicious. That was definitely a success. Definitely something I plan to do on future adventures for sure, because that was really easy. Maybe not as beautifully aesthetic for you guys, but it was really nice to roll into camp and be able to dump food into a pot that I had already prepared and just boil it and have it be done. It was good soup, and I knew what was in it, and I appreciated that. Jess went back to her camp and went to bed, and it's approximately like 9 p.m. However, it might as well be 1 a.m. in the morning. Pretty much all of my noisy neighbors have gone to bed already, hence why I'm whispering into a microphone very close to my mouth. But I'm all nice and cozied up. I'm super stoked about the new sleeping pad situation, super stoked to try out my new sleeping bag, and the new pillow is ginormous blown up, so I'm stoked about that. Gonna finish up a couple of Star Trail time lapses that you guys will be enjoying shortly, and I'm gonna get cozied up with all of my heated gear pieces. I've got like 2 rechargeable hand warmers. I've got that mini heated pad thing that's in my sleeping bag and is keeping my butt toasty warm while I talk to you. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be cold tonight, but it did get quite chilly as soon as the sun went down, so I am glad that I am over prepared. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Good night, everybody. Good morning, beautiful people. It's a gorgeous sunrise here in Joshua Tree. I slept so good last night. Wow. I know that I turned over a couple times in my sleep, but I didn't wake up. It's been a very long time since I've slept that long. Probably part of the fact is because I did like 400 miles yesterday, so I was tired. But I'm also going to give a lot of credit to my new X-Pad sleeping pad and this X-Pad pillow. And I suppose we should get up and moving. The goal for today is Oregon Pipe National Monument. I have a couple stops I need to do before we get there, so fingers crossed that I can get there before dark. If not, we'll make do. Okay, the painful process of packing up begins. Well, I just spent the afternoon in Palm Springs. It was probably a blip to you. It was a couple of hours to me, but I had a wonderful lunch with Eric and Lisa from Wolfman Luggage, and it was just so nice, and their son, and it was so wonderful to get to catch up with them. Eric texted me right after I posted on Instagram about losing my Stetson, and he's like, what is the make and model? Where do we send it? Like, how can we make this right? And I was just... It made me cry. I was so grateful. They're just incredible human beings. We spent a few minutes looking around Palm Springs trying to find a store that sells Stetsons. Unfortunately, none of them do, but I have my eye set on a farm and ranch store that should have a Stetson on my way. This story has a happy ending. Amanda will get a new hat. Everything will be fine. We will still mourn the old one because... it went everywhere with me, and it's still sad. But Amanda will not be without a hat, and everything will be fine. So, happy ending. I'm talking to you in my helmet right now because the wind is wow. Anyway, we got miles to make. It's going to be dark before I get wherever I'm going today. I was supposed to make it to Oregon Pipe National Monument, but I don't think that's happening today. Which is totally okay. Getting to spend the afternoon with Eric and Lisa, I think, was worth the sacrifice of not making it quite all the way to Oregon Pipe today. But we should hit the road and make some miles. Let's do it. about an hour outside of Yuma. The sun is setting. It's getting colder. I stopped here to put my heated gear back on and layer up. It was quite warm in Palm Springs, so I got all like used to being comfy. The ride next to the Salton Sea was beautiful, and the temperature was just right. However, the temperature has dropped quite a bit, and the sun isn't even properly down yet. So I'm going back and forth, but I think that I may end up just getting a hotel in Yuma tonight instead of trying to make it all the way to Oregon Pipe. I need to just play catch up. I need to take care of some back-end email stuff that's been piling up. I need to charge stuff. And, well, it's another 4 hours to Oregon Pipe National Monument. And, of course, smart me, stopped next to a stop sign. Oh, that might help a little bit. One of the downsides of doing this trip so early in the season is that the sun does go down much, much earlier. It makes the happy window of riding a lot shorter. Really, I need to be aiming to be at my destinations by 4:30 in order to get to enjoy them. Hopefully, along the way, I will get accustomed to this learning curve. There's always a learning curve. Always. Anyway, I'm going to stop wasting time. I'm going to skedaddle my booty to Yuma. Wow. As you can see, we have made it to the hotel. A Best Western in Yuma. $188 with my Best Western rewards. Ouch. We're just gonna learn the hard lesson that in the spring in the South, it is high season, which means high prices. It's hard for my brain to wrap around 200 to an average. There was hotels that were $330. Not big fancy resort hotels, a normal hotel room. Wow. However, good things of the day. Getting to see Eric and Lisa and them making it possible for me to replace my Stetson, and I will be forever grateful. I'm so stoked about that. I guess I'm going to be grateful for this room as well, because I will be warm. I will not be driving 4 hours into the night. I also totally forgot about the time change, by the way. So not only would I have driven 4 hours, but it would have been close to 2 a.m. had I pushed through. And that would have been bad news for everybody. I would have probably made really bad decisions because I was already getting tired when I arrived here. So we've made the smart decision. I'm going to get some much needed work done and then go to sleep and try to get up bright and early because we're going to Bisbee tomorrow. Good morning, beautiful people. I've got a few miles to do today. The goal is to get to Bisbee and maybe a stopover in Tombstone. I can't resist. I am a Old West history lover, and I can't help but eat up all of the touristy things around the Old West. So we need to get the bike loaded. It's 7:44. We need to get moving. I have arrived in Dateland, Arizona, and I saw the sign for date shakes and couldn't resist. Oh my god, it's so good. Also could not resist. I got a little half a pound of dates. Will I regret it later? Who knows? I'm gonna enjoy it for the moment though. over because my headset finally died. It's been about a day and a half. I've been trying out a new headset on this trip. It's the Uclear Exocom. I think Scorpion partnered with Uclear to make the Exocom to work on the GT 930 and the T520 helmets. And since it's like literally has a little hole built in, there's a little capsule in the back for the battery, and it's a lot more aerodynamic than the Cena's. So I've just been trying it out. Today I was testing like how long can I really listen to this, because like the first 2 days of this trip I was trying to be really conscious of charging the battery every night. So yeah, day and a half, and the speakers aren't quite as loud as the HD speakers that I upgraded my Sena 10C Evo to. It's enough that I can listen to music and listen to podcasts on high. Anyway, I'm going to put in my wired headphones, get the battery for my headset charging, and hit the road again. I don't know if you guys seen my tank bag recently, but this is my camera bag essentially. And Eric from Wolfman was very kind to make me this prototype like camera insert that is working out so much better than the foam situation that I tried to use on the last cross-country trip. This has been amazing and an incredible life upgrade. My big camera sits here. I've got all the batteries for all the cameras in this little pocket. I've got a 20mm wide SD cards, my Rode wireless microphone, and then I got the Rode Wireless Go, and this is where the ZV-1 lives. And of course I got like headphones and chapstick and earplugs, all the stuff. This is the Black Hawk tank bag for the 2020 WP line. So it's waterproof. I've tested it very thoroughly. I think I'm 2 hours from Tombstone. I'm so close. I'm very excited. I'm a dork. I don't care. The sun is very bright today, but we have officially made it to Tombstone, and I am beyond excited, and I'm going to prowl and see if I can't find a new hat. This is the mission. Success has been had. I have found myself a new hat. It may not be my Stetson, but it does have the benefit of being purchased here in Tombstone. It is Bailey's, so it's still USA made. It's made of wool, it's water repellent, and most importantly for me, it's crushable. Anyway, Tombstone is incredible, and I never want to leave. I love it here. So I'm gonna enjoy my time here and then head towards Bisbee. Hopefully before the sun goes down, who knows? Well, I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Tombstone. Got a new hat, but I think it's time to go and head to Bisbee because it's gonna get cold as soon as that sun goes over that horizon, and it's very close. I think I've got like 30 minutes to Bisbee. Well, I'm on track for this trip. I'm just, wow. Incredible planning, Amanda. Got to Bisbee, obviously the light is going and it is quite cold. No vacancies at the hotel. My bad, I should have done more research. But I found some boarding house inn thing in Tombstone, and the room is like $75, so I'm gonna go do that. So back to Tombstone we go. I didn't want to leave anyway, right? Made it to Tombstone, lucked out at the Tombstone boarding house, and she had a wonderful room for me. This looks so cozy, and I'll show you the outside of the building in the morning because they're just sweethearts. Most affordable hotel within, I don't know, 50, 60 miles. Cash only, so if you do come to Tombstone and you stay at the boarding house, cash only. This room is nice. The lady who checked me in was just the biggest sweetheart. And I'm so happy to be here. The room is nice and toasty. I'm gonna get all of my stuff loaded into this room. I'll see you guys later. All brown. All the time. Brown hat, brown sweater, brown pants, brown boots. Do I have a palette? Maybe. Good morning, beautiful people. As you can see by the background behind me, ended up in a hotel room again last night. This time in Tombstone, Arizona, which was actually quite cozy. And if you are coming to Tombstone, Arizona, just to like peruse the town and you're gonna stay here, I highly recommend the Tombstone boarding house inn. Definitely go check out my last video if you want to check out my little bit of time here in Tombstone. Today's goal is El Paso, specifically a state park outside of El Paso, which is like a 6-hour drive. Anyway, you can still see there's a mess on the bed. I still want to get that packed up and put on the bike. I'm gonna go grab myself some hot tea and then we'll hit the road. So not tonight, but the next 3 nights are the last nights that I have reserved in advance. So hopefully after this week is over, I can go back to just stopping wherever I want. I still have to get to Tampa, Florida by the 18th, so there's still kind of a deadline hanging over my head, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of looking forward to the trip back more than the trip going over because there's 0 expectations for my timeline, and I'm very excited about that. Anyway, that's enough chattering for me. I gotta get packed up and get this party going. Also, look at this cute. They have a little paved parking area for motorcycles. So you don't have to park in the gravel if you don't want to. It's so nice. We have officially made it to New Mexico. Well, we have made it to Waco Tanks State Park here in Texas, which is gorgeous, by the way. I did have to watch an orientation video, but I'm kind of glad because it was really neat to learn more about this area and what makes it special. It's super awesome. Unfortunately, the sun is going down and the campground here was closed. So I have approximately 40 minutes before the sun goes down. So I'm going to do a quick pop over to one of the nature trails, see what I can see before heading back out. They said that the rental place up the road lets you camp there for like $5. This place is so cool. Waco Tanks encompasses 4 massive rock formations. Inside these hills are natural cisterns that form inside of the rocks. For thousands of years, this formation has been a gathering place for Native Americans as a source of water. There are hundreds of paintings throughout the park Unfortunately, the park has a big problem with vandalism, so only the north section of the park near the visitor center can be accessed without a guide. But I'm still so glad that I took the time to come and check out this place because it was magical being here. Hopefully they can open up the campground again soon. I would have really liked to have stayed here for the night. Alrighty, tent is set up, and this campsite is a bit sketchy. In the site next to me, there's a bunch of stuff that looks like it's abandoned. One of the sites over near the entrance has a tent that's like ripped to shreds. Like it looks like it's abandoned, but now there's a car over there, so I have no idea. This place is weird. But I'm not getting the somebody's gonna come bother me vibes, so it's a place to sleep. And I'm gonna sleep here and maybe get up and out of here as early as possible. I think everything will be fine, but it definitely feels like it's climber heaven. Evidently, a lot of people go climbing at the Waco tanks. Makes sense that this would become climber heaven because it's cheap and especially because the campground is closed at the state park. So, well, I'm going to eat my orange, climb into my bed, and will myself to sleep. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. We've got about 5 hours to go today to get to my campsite in Big Bend Ranch State Park. I'm feeling pretty anxious about being out of service for the next 2.5 days. I do have my satellite messenger and my SOS button and that kind of stuff, so if anything like went really wrong, I could get help. But it's just kind of an anxious feeling. I'm going to make sure that I have all my maps downloaded offline on Onyx, and I don't know why, I was just feeling super anxious about it. Like, I can spend like days in the woods, like in Idaho without service. I feel totally fine. I'm just not super familiar with spending a lot of time in this kind of desert environment. Like the high desert in Oregon, totally fine with, but this kind of desert is different and it's very unforgiving and there's little to no water sources, so I have to carry all of my water. Between the 1 gallon in my moto jug and the 4 liters in my Sea to Summit bag, I think I should be okay because I think there's a couple places in the national park to get water, and then of course there's Terlingua, but it doesn't stop me from feeling anxious. But it's okay to feel anxious. It makes me more prepared. It makes me aware of the stuff that could go wrong. The important part is just to keep it from stopping me from doing the thing. But today, the goal is just to get ourselves to our campsite at Big Bend Ranch State Park. A little bit of dirt at the end of the day, but first we gotta get all the slab done before we get there. One step at a time. Yeah. By the way, got down to about 30 degrees last night. I think it's 47 right now. So that's part of the reason I'm dragging my feet is I'm waiting for the sun to warm up my tent a little bit so that I can change clothes without having to be frozen. All right. Whew, that wind. Wow. Hello, Texas. Okay, bike packed, get my helmet on, get the earplugs in, and we're going down the road. I had a Tonka bar and a honey stinger waffle for breakfast. Nutrition. Well, this was lucky. I'm like, God knows, 60 miles from the next town that I was supposed to hit. And I was down to the last bar of gas and I came across a sign that said another town about like 15 miles off the highway. Got here just in time to hit reserve on the gas tank, so not too bad. Yeah, you wanna talk about a town in the middle of nowhere. Wow. Well, we made it to Guadalupe Mountain National Park. The wind here is insane. I got my patch, I got my pin, took a little look around. I'm pressed for time though, so we gotta hit the road. What a crazy place.
Tell me, babe, where are you going? Prairie wind goes on blowing. Tumbleweed shadow, I'm tied to you. Tell me, babe, what are we gonna do? 'Cause you got me in the backspin, spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it.
Stopped for a little break here in Marfa, Texas. Trying to get a gauge on what the road condition's gonna be like. Nobody here has been to Big Bend Ranch State Park, so nobody could really tell me, but I called the ranger and he seems pretty confident that I should be able to do it. So we're gonna give it a shot.
In the light, I had a vision. In the dark, a premonition. You took my dreams and now I'm bound to you. Tell me, babe, what are we gonna do? 'Cause you got me in the backspin, spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it. 'Cause you got me in the backspin, spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it.
I did it! I made it to my campsite before the sun went totally down. I'll be setting up my tent in twilight here in a second and probably making food in the dark. But I made it up the dirt road, no problems, before it got dark, and I call that a win. I can already tell sunrise here is going to be gorgeous. I can't wait. Like, this sunset is incredible. I only wish that I could have been here earlier so I could got sunset photos with my tent up, but this is just gorgeous. Totally worth the rush to get out here. I'm so glad that I made it and I didn't stay in town somewhere because this is amazing. Oh my God. So I also dehydrated some of my homemade spaghetti sauce and I haven't tested out the rehydration process yet, so let's see how this goes. I do have other food in case this doesn't work out, but I'm kind of excited because if this works out, then I'm stoked because my family spaghetti is like my comfort food. And it's closer to like bolognese than it is like what normal people think of as spaghetti sauce. And if I could, I would just eat it all the time. I also broke up some angel hair and put it in a little lunch baggie before I left home. Cross your fingers for me, okay? Note to my future self, always cook the spaghetti separate. It's all an experiment, and that's okay. Oh, and I'm just so happy to be out here, and I feel like for the first time on this whole trip, like something went right. I don't know. Does that sound wrong? But it feels good to be here. It feels really nice to be in the middle of nowhere, not camp next to a road, not camp next to other people. Okay, so it might not look the best under harsh light in the dark, but I am so happy about this. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Fingers crossed. So far, so good. Maybe a little bit too much pasta for the amount of sauce that I gave myself as a serving. And I do know what to change for next time. And overall, I'm gonna call this a success because it's edible, because it means that there's a future that I might be able to successfully pull off making a dehydrated bolognese that will remind me of home on the road. And yes. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this. Good morning, beautiful people. Excuse my tent. I'm currently camped out in Big Bend Ranch State Park, and this morning the wind picked up. And today's goal is Big Bend National Park. And thanks to our sponsor today, Onyx Off-Road, I was able to do a little sleuthing and found a road that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Or challenging, depends on your definition of fun. But first, I gotta get my camp packed up and out of this wind, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Onyx Off-Road. For those who may not be aware, Onyx Off-Road is a mapping app that I've been using for the last 2 years to plan my adventures. I love it so much, and I started using it because of the very clear delineation between public and private land on the app when you subscribe to the monthly premium service. The plan today is to go from Big Bend Ranch State Park, ride the El Camino del Rio, then a dirt road from Terlingua to Santa Elena Canyon. Then I'll ride Maxwell Drive to the beginning of Old Ore Road, which is a road that I found thanks to a cool feature of Onyx Off-Road called Discover Trails, which gives you great information like an idea of difficulty level, how long the trail is, and when the trail normally opens. I found this campsite with Onyx Off-Road thanks to the tent icons which mark campsites. Then I found that campsite on the Big Bend National Park website and purchased my permit through recreation.gov. I made sure to download these areas offline while I was still in service. I knew I would be out of service for 2 days minimum and wanted to make sure I always knew where I was. So if I got in trouble, I could use my satellite messenger to communicate my location if I needed to, and also know exactly how far I was away from an exit. There are 3 options for resolution when downloading maps offline. I normally download a larger area around where I'll be riding at the lowest resolution, and then use the 10 and 5 mile resolutions to download the trails I know I'll be riding so I can have as much information about that terrain as possible, with satellite imagery and topographic information. You can also select the areas you want to download offline on your desktop at home, and then that will sync to your phone to download before you leave for your trip. All right, let's hit the road. I made it to Santa Elena Canyon. Maverick Road was a ton of fun, so I'm definitely glad that I did that. However, there is a lot of people here. There's more people here than when I visited Devil's Tower. So I don't really want to leave the bike long enough to go for the short hike to see more of the canyon. And I think that's okay. What I am going to do is ride Maxwell Scenic Drive. Oh my god, the wind is so strong it just knocked over one of the no parking signs that had sandbags on it, okay? Anyway, make my way towards a visitor center so that I can ask a ranger about the conditions of Old Ore Road, which is what I want to do and is actually where my campsite is reserved for the night. Fingers crossed. I'm sure everything will be fine. Let's do it. Okay. Whoa, that is some wind. Wow. Okay, so I stopped at the visitor center. I talked to a ranger. She had no idea what the road conditions are going to be like, but she called somebody else on the other side of the park and explained that I'm not a bigger, heavier bike, but I'm pretty experienced riding it off-road in the dirt, and I could hear the ranger on the other end line on the phone. The short story is that they seem pretty convinced that I should be able to do it. God, I hope they're right. I guess we'll see. I just pick through it. Yeah. So be patient with me. It'll take me a minute. We're gonna watch. Okay. Woo! Phew. Well, my campsite is like 0.1 miles up the road. And it's officially a trip now because the bike is down. Not the worst place, but not the best place for sure. Taking the duffel off to get rid of some of the weight. I've taken the tank bag off, so if I drop it the other way, I don't hurt my cameras. Woo! Thank you to these amazing human beings for helping me pack my stuff. Thank you.
You got it.
I did it! I made it to camp. According to my friends, the second half of this road that I have to do tomorrow will be much easier than what I just had to do, but and it's still windy. Let's get my tent set up, shall we? So we can make some food. Well, I haven't had to fight to put up my tent so much in quite a while. I had to use a bunch of different rocks. It's really not the best setup because you can't put stakes in the ground. It's too hard. I don't imagine I'm going to be sleeping a whole lot tonight, but that's okay. But then again, the wind has been bad all day. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess maybe I'm gonna have a bar for dinner because I think trying to use my stove right now is gonna be a joke. I am really proud of myself for getting through the first section of Old Ore Road, especially after all of the horror stories that I was hearing from people after all the damage from last year. There was a couple sections of the road that were pretty sketch. Definitely really sketch. Don't know if I knew that those obstacles were there, if I would have still done it, but I got through them. Ironically, like, down the bike on the least obtrusive obstacle that I did to get here, which is hilarious. But it's already getting really chilly, so I'm going to layer up, turn my heated gear on, eat a bar, maybe crawl into the sleeping bag to try and warm up because I'm pretty chilled from the wind. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, beautiful people. I was correct. It was not a restful night's sleep. Until around 5 a.m., the wind finally stopped, and as you can probably tell, it's quite calm now. And oh my gosh, I hope it stays that way. Like, a breeze is fine, but like, wow, those wind gusts yesterday were crazy. So I'm gonna start getting packed up, and we're gonna do the second half of this road today. Maybe make myself some scrambled eggs. I think starting this day off with a warm meal, maybe a cup of tea, would probably be good. I double-checked the map this morning, and without Onyx, I would have never known this road was here. Probably would have just done the paid parts of this national park and gotten the heck out of here in one day. But this experience has definitely made exploring Big Bend a richer experience, given me a better perspective of what this park has to offer, more than just Santa Elena Canyon and the Chiso Basin. And I think this rugged landscape and the trails here at Big Bend National Park give a better perspective of this area, more so than the paved route does, to be honest. But that's just my thoughts. Well, I should probably get up and start doing stuff, huh? Burning daylight. Let's tackle the second half of this road, shall we? First drop of the day. Man, these washes are really like my kryptonite, I suppose. Get this bike up this hill. Oh, hi.
We got you. It's a little slick out here, yeah?
It's a little slick. I should have picked the high route. I'm just dumb. Oh, it's a neutral. Drop number 2. You know how you can tell when a rock is too tall for your clearance? I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. There's silver all over this rock. You know where that silver came from? My skid plate. As I high centered and fell over. I'm so glad that I have this. Time to pull the duffel off again, I suppose. One, two, three. Well, I got the bike up. Hi, sweetie. I know you were over for a long time. Are you gonna start for me? That's my darling. 'Cause I know that you love me.
Cause you gotta let go while you can. Don't look back, don't forget. You gotta let go while you can. Don't look back, don't forget. You gotta let go while you can. Don't you wait until the morning light, the morning light. Far away until you're out of sight, you're out of sight.
Woo! I did it!
Cause you gotta let go while you can. Gotta let go while you can.
Good morning, beautiful people. As you can tell by the background behind me, there has been an explosion. I was very, very tired after finishing that dirt road in Big Bend National Park and thought that I deserved some time in a comfortable hotel room, warm, but I really needed to do laundry and back up files with a power source and charge stuff. All of the normal things. Today's goal is Pedernales State Park in Texas. 330 miles, should be about a 6 to 7 hour ride today. Okay, I made it to Del Rio. I had some lunch at Sirloin Stockade and ate my feelings. On the road between Seminole Canyon and Del Rio, my Osprey bag that I used to just like throw a bunch of stuff in got ripped off the bike by the wonderful Texas crosswinds. And some of my stuff got run over by the truck that was behind me. A few of those things include a hand warmer, which is not the end of the world. I have another. The battery charger for my big camera. One of my Sony batteries, not worried about it. I have a bunch of those. One of my heated gear batteries. I totally lost one of my other heated gear batteries, so I'm going to have to buy more. I do have one that's in my jacket right now, but I'm going to have to replace because just one battery isn't enough. The sunscreen came off. That was fine. My glasses came off. Those obviously hit the ground pretty hard, but the glasses inside were safe, thank goodness. However, the most devastating part of this event is that my Somewhere satellite messenger got ran over and is just toast, which means I am without a way to communicate when I'm out of service, which is like half of Texas. I'm still processing and figuring out what I'm going to do about that. It's fine. We're going to pretend like it's 2016 when I still didn't even know what a satellite messenger was. Everything's fine. It could have been way worse. It could have been my tank bag. Thank God that it wasn't. Knock on wood. Not a great way to start this day. And now we're going to hit the road. We're trying to get to Pedernales State Park, but now I'm so far behind because I had to backtrack to pick up all my gear off of the highway that I'm not sure we'll make it. But since the time changed this morning, I might be able to make it because now the sun sets a little bit later. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Nothing I can do about it now except order the stuff that I need to replace. Figure out what I'm going to do about the satellite messenger situation. I really don't want to buy a whole new one. I still have the InReach. Maybe I can get my partner to send that to me. I don't know. I'm going to make miles and let my brain mull over it in the background. Yep.
When I was young, I thought control would lead me to an ending road, and heavy metal seemed to be the only thing that was for me. And I saw the angels coming down, and they sang a song and sang it loud. And I still remember parts of it, and the yellow glorious will lit. Won't you be my guide and let me follow? Can I hold your hand for old time's sake?
I just finished up 2 legs of the Twisted Sisters. I don't have enough time to go and do the 3rd leg, but it was a very nice reprieve from the straight flat from West Texas. And now I'm going to keep moving on. I stopped here at the general store. What is it? The Garvin store. And picked me up some bison jerky and some elk jerky. And we're going to keep going. Well, I made it to Pedernales State Park, like for once actually making it to my destination before it was dark, but they don't have any sites. They gave me a couple other recommendations, but it sounds like they're all going to be expensive. Maybe I should just get a hotel room? I don't know. I should go all the way back to Johnson City. Well, as you can see, the sun is setting. I came to this place that the state park recommended up the road, but there's no campground host here. I asked some of the people who are already staying here, and they said, oh, just like go on the website and reserve a spot. And I was like, okay. And so I looked up the website. I have just enough service to pull up the website. I found one spot available. So that's what a $63 tent site looks like. Not level, no water. I hate this, but I think I'm gonna go get a hotel room. But also, like, I'm not paying $63 for that. Am I awful? Maybe a little. I don't care. Okay, well, I got a room at the Best Western in Johnson City, and with my Best Western rewards, it was $112 or something like that. A lot better than $63 for a tent site, that's for sure. And I'll have breakfast tomorrow. So, gonna make myself some dinner, take care of some back end stuff, get some photos edited, catch up while I still have Wi-Fi. I'm gonna get myself all cozy, go to bed, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, beautiful people, from my hotel room in Johnson City. I just spent this morning working on some sponsor posts and also calling like practically every dealership in the Austin and Houston area trying to find a tire for my bike since the rear has worn a little bit faster than we were expecting. Nobody is surprised. The wonderful people at On the Border Cycles in Houston have found me a Shinko 805 that'll fit my bike and get me the rest of the way across the country and back. Fingers crossed. But I'd rather have that than a racing tire. So we gotta get all of this packed up and hit the road because it's gonna be about 4 or 5 hours till I get to Houston, and I wanna get there before the shop closes because it's gonna take about an hour for them to change my tire. They even said they would be able to get me in today. So I am so grateful because I called about 4 or 5 shops trying to find a tire and they had it. So let's get packed up and hit the road, shall we? Officially made it to Houston. We'll wait for a little bit. There's a couple of bikes ahead of me, but they still assured me that the tire's gonna get replaced today. It's gonna be a Shinko 705, which is great because it'll match the tread on my front a little bit better. But whew, I think I finally found the heat, you guys. Like, I had to strip layers before I even went into the side of the dealership. It feels nice not to have to wear 5 pounds of clothes to be warm, so this is awesome. All right, new rubber required out here at On the Border Discount Tire. They were wonderful, wonderful human beings, got me in and out nice and fast, no questions asked. Didn't even harass me about how dirty the bike was. Anyway, I'm gonna hit the road. I don't know where I'm going, but that's okay. Well, I found a park by Army Corps of Engineers and I called the sheriff's office to make sure it would be okay if I stayed here. And she said, in not so many words, yeah, that's fine. So I'm just gonna put my tent up here, I guess. And now it's raining. Oh my gosh, wow, it's really coming down now. I still have to get my clothes and stuff. poop. But wow, yeah, it's just full on coming down now. Well, the rain has stopped momentarily, so I think I'm just gonna crawl into my sleeping bag. I'm actually, excuse me, quite tired. So I'm gonna crawl in my sleeping bag and go to sleep. I didn't think I was so tired, but then I got here and set up and I just wanted to lay down. I think the last few days of riding across Texas and the Texas crosswinds, which can be downright horrendous, is catching up to me. So I'm sorry, everybody who really enjoys my elaborate camp meals. It's just really hard to do that when the wind has been so bad the last few days. Anyway, that was a tangent. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'll see you guys later. Good morning, beautiful people. We are outside of Houston, Texas. I camped at a county park last night, and it rained last night. So my tent is very damp. I'm gonna have myself a little orange while I wait for the sun to come up a little bit more. Maybe evaporate some of this water that's on my rain fly. And then we'll pack up. I think the goal today is Louisiana. I'm aiming for the Tickfaw State Park, which is kind of like in the New Orleans area. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to Cafe du Monde, but today I gotta figure out where I'm going because based on my experience the last few days, I don't actually know if I'm gonna be able to find a place to sleep at Tickfaw because all the state parks I've hit so far going through Texas have been packed because it's Texas spring break and I keep forgetting it. So is it windy like this everywhere in the South? Is this actually the wind tour? Like, wow. It's almost dried out now. I have made it to Winnie, Texas. Finally found a grocery store, stopped and got some food, and decided instead of going to a restaurant, I'm just gonna make myself a little tuna wrap. But I'm gonna do it here in the grocery store parking lot because why would we go to park to eat, right? I'm back to my old ways. Hello, Louisiana. am in Walker, Louisiana. I decided not to go to Tickfaw State Park even to check if they had camping. One, because I'm lazy and I'm very tired from not sleeping all too great last night through the rainstorm. The riding today was amazing. Crossing into Louisiana was awesome. Not being on a highway today was just wonderful. I really appreciated that. That was a good reprieve, and the wind wasn't nearly as bad as it has been the last few days trying to cross Texas. I have made myself some dinner because I'm starving. And then we're going to get up in the morning, appreciate the breakfast that comes with staying in a hotel, steal as much fruit as I can, and hit the road. I don't even know what the goal is for tomorrow. I'm gonna worry about that tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, beautiful people. I have consumed my free breakfast, stole fruit for the road today, and now I gotta clean up my mess and get everything back down to the bike. And then we're gonna go to Cafe Du Monde so that I can have beignets. So I stopped by Tickfaw State Park just to scope it out because I was planning to camp here on my way back. And I'm glad that I stopped for two reasons. First reason, I found out that they haven't been really getting tent reservations at all because this park has been decimated by a couple of storms. So like a ton of the trails are closed and the trees are either torn out or they were doing some clearing. So while it is not super beautiful right now, I'm pretty confident when I come back this way, I'll be able to camp here. So now we're gonna get back on the road because beignets are calling my name. Well, I have officially spent the last 45 minutes calling every campground and state park within 150 miles practically. They're either all booked up or they don't allow tent camping, which is interesting to me. I've never come across that problem before, but I guess I am in the South now. So I'm gonna accept it and I'm gonna try and find a hotel now, I guess. Well, that's a bummer, but that's fine. That's fine. I got to have beignets and they were awesome. More doughy than I thought they would be, but very, very good. Like the dough itself isn't sweet, so all the sweetness is coming from the powdered sugar, so it makes sense that they come in like orders of 3. You can't just buy one. But it was very good, and I'm glad that I made the time to stop here. Frustrations around camping and all. I'm gonna go grab some SD cards and then maybe figure out where I'm gonna stay tonight. Who knows? Nobody knows. I don't know. Success. SD cards acquired. I called the hotel room, made a reservation to make sure that there would be a place for me when I arrived. Fun fact, that hotel room is gonna be like $94. If one of the many camping resorts I called actually accepted tent campers, it would have been $80 to tent camp. That doesn't make any kind of sense. I texted my mom and told her that I was gonna stay in a hotel. And she's like, well, isn't it gonna rain again anyway? And I was like, I don't know. It rained last night and it rained the night before. but it's only overcast today. It hasn't really rained today. And Mom's like, no, the answer is it's the south and it's the spring. Of course it's going to rain. I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom. And she's like, so you don't have to feel bad about staying in a hotel room. There was a really nice gentleman in the comment section on my last cross-country trip telling me to stop coming up with excuses about why you had to stay in a hotel room. Like, the amount of traveling that I've done, I deserve to stay in a hotel room whenever I want and not have to explain it to anybody. But do I still feel the need to explain why I'm staying in a hotel room instead of camping when that's like my gig? Yes. Yes, I do. But for right now, I'm gonna listen to my audiobook and avoid highways on the way to my hotel room. Also, I just want to say that having the Moto Jug has been incredible. Life-changing. So nice. Welcome to my home for the night. However, we are not staying here for dinner. I passed so many restaurants that were selling crawfish on the way here. I've never had it before. I asked the lady at the front desk and she told me to go to some place in Pascagoula. So I'm gonna go try some crawfish. We'll see how this goes. That was my first time trying crawfish. I do like crawfish. However, I went into that situation like totally not understanding how much meat is in each individual crawfish. When I got my turn to get up to the counter to order, the lady was like, well, what do you want? And I was like, do you have crawfish? Because I couldn't see it in front of me. And she's like, yeah. Do you want like 3 pounds? And I was like, I've never had them before. And she's just like, gawked at me like, what? Do you want to try one? And I was like, okay, yeah. And she handed it to me and I was like, how do you eat this? She kind of giggled at me and told me to take the tail off and eat the meat out of the tail. And so she's like, so do you want like 3 pounds? And I was like, can I have like a pound? And she kind of looked at me like, yeah, you can have a pound. And I was like, can I have corn too? And she's like, yeah. And so she gave me my little pound of crawfish and a corn. I went and paid for it, and I ate through my bag of crawfish, which was really good. I think I would describe it closer to like crab meat, except a very small amount of meat per creature. So I worked my way through my 1 pound of crawfish, and it wasn't until after I was done with that and I ate my corn and everything that I realized that the reason that they like the normal is to order 3 pounds of crawfish is because like, out of 3 pounds of crawfish, there's probably about 1 pound of meat. Probably less than a serving's worth of meat, but that's okay. It was delicious, and now I want more crawfish. So that's a thing that has developed. Also, it was incredibly spicy, like very, very spicy. If you don't know, I'm not super fond of spicy food. You can judge me if you want. It just doesn't agree with my stomach, and especially after the ulcer, eating spicy food just makes my stomach hurt really bad. Dealing with that stomach ache, but it was worth it because the crawfish was so good. So now I'm like, can I find crawfish that hasn't been spiced yet? And just like eat it with a bunch of butter? Good morning, beautiful people. We are still on our way to Florida for the Forgotten Angels Campout. Riding along the Gulf Coast has been very fun. For right now, I'm gonna go enjoy some free breakfast from the hotel and then finish packing up this bike and we'll hit the road. I stopped at this farm market, kind of like open air grocery store, and got strawberries. And this is like the best decision I could have made. These are amazing. I also got a little bag of radishes for me to snack on later. I'm so happy. Hello, Alabama. Stopped to take a break. I have made it to Florida. Called my mom while I was sitting here because I haven't updated her in a little while, and she has now informed me that a hurricane is headed this direction, according to the weather. I was aiming for a campground. However, with this news, I don't really want to tempt fate and try to sit out a potential tropical storm / hurricane in my tent in the Florida Panhandle. Probably gonna end up in a hotel again. Finished off my strawberries and they were lovely. I'm working on my radishes now. Just trying to get my brain to slow down for a minute, get a little bit over the road days before I get back on the bike. I got to ride through the Gulf Shores National Park, which was super awesome. I could not find a good spot to stop and actually take a photo, but it was beautiful. And in other good news, I'm no longer cold, but I'm also not sweating. So I think this might be like the actual perfect time to be in Florida, or at least the Panhandle. I'll update you when I get further south to Tampa and say whether or not it's pleasant. I was hoping for this result of going through the south in the spring and not having to die from humidity as a northerner, which so far that plan has worked out swimmingly. So I'm going to figure out where I'm going to stay tonight. I'm 100 or so miles from Tallahassee. So I imagine I'm heading that direction to try to find a cheap hotel room. At this point, I just feel lucky if it's under $100. Hi, I'm just curious if you have any rooms available for tonight for one person. I forgot that it's St. Patrick's Day. All right, my room is booked. I double checked the weather and there is indeed some nasty thunderstorms coming in. I didn't see a hurricane warning, but there's definitely some really nasty thunderstorms. They're gonna hit this area and I'm not gonna be able to make it out of the area of the storm tonight. So I'm just gonna go to a hotel in Tallahassee, another Best Western, because I'm like, I might as well be building up points while I'm doing this, you know? And then hopefully they'll take pity on me because of the storm and let me park the bike under the awning. Doesn't hurt to ask. So we're gonna try that. I'm about an hour and a half away. Let's hit the road, shall we? This is what a Best Western looks like in Tallahassee. I am so tired. The last 2 weeks are finally catching up with me. More like compounding on me. I've been tired for a few days now. But I'm gonna make dinner and try to go to bed early tonight, you know, maybe before midnight. Oh, shock and awe. Tonight's dinner is arborio rice, artichoke hearts, the marinade from the artichoke hearts, a carrot, a radish, cashews, and Parmesan and lemon juice. I love food. Riding through the Gulf is definitely way different than riding through like the top half of the southern states. It's like a totally different vibe than 2020 when I cut across the top of Georgia and Alabama and Mississippi. Very different. It's very interesting. I mean, apart from obviously like all the houses that are super close to the Gulf, like being up on stilts, but also there's so many more Dollar Generals. I swear to God, there's more Dollar Generals than there are gas stations. I will come across a Dollar General when I'm like, I really need a gas station now, please. Thank you. I'm gonna finish up my food and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, beautiful people. I had breakfast. I brought up the luggage rack. We're gonna load the luggage rack, get that on the bike. I checked outside. It seems to have rained last night. It's not currently raining, but it is quite foggy and misty, so it's gonna be damp and cold. So I'm gonna put on a couple more layers after I get everything loaded onto the bike. Whew, we're headed to Tampa today. Gonna have an orange and a boiled egg for lunch next to the freeway. Luxury. Also, there's a sign here at this rest area that says, watch out for venomous snakes. No.
Oh, hello. Hi. I know you literally just got here, but it's so wonderful to finally meet you. Hi, Amanda. Hello. Yeah.
I have officially made it to the Forgotten Angels Campout. There's all of these people. Got to meet Adam Sandoval and Jess is over there. Oh. I guess it's time I set up my tent.
I love your bike and its setup. I think that's dope.
Good morning, beautiful people. This is actually the last day of the Forgotten Angels Campout, but we're gonna go back in time to the first day when I got here and all of the chaos that has ensued. And I'll catch back up to you once we watch what's happened so far. For those that might not know and aren't familiar with Shade Tree Surgeon's content, Forgotten Angels is first and foremost a nonprofit that gives a home to children aging out of the foster care system. They give these kids a second chance that the system didn't give them. An opportunity to complete their high school education, own their own tiny home, get a job, open a bank account, with the support and guidance that they didn't receive from their legal foster caregivers. The Forgotten Angels Campout that I attended in March, and there's another one in October, is actually a culmination of a round of fundraising to give back to this incredible effort to give these kids the opportunity they wouldn't have had otherwise. As Shade Tree Surgeon likes to say, bad people doing good things. After personally getting to meet David and Cindy, I could not think of better people to be helping these kids. They were so open and welcoming to everyone and are just the most selfless people. I'll leave a link down in the description if you would like to donate direct to Forgotten Angels. Even if you can only donate $5, every little bit makes a huge difference. A huge thank you to Barry Miller for letting me ride his Yamaha Tenere 700 around the campout. It was very fun and surprisingly light at only about 25 pounds heavier than my CB 500X, without all the gear, of course. So I officially got to meet Captain Anna. And you know how I'm meeting Captain Anna? She's doing Jello shots.
Not in my group.
It's her first time.
My
She
first
hasn't
Jello
done
shot
any
ever.
Jello shots ever in her life.
From the Shade Tree Army, nothing but love.
She's got bigger cojones than I do, you know?
She will outride.
You've done that, right?
She will outride 90% of most men.
There you go.
You're so nice to
Anyway.
me. All the people here have been just so kind, and I've met so many incredible humans. If you walked up to me and said hello, thank you so much. You don't even know how much it means to me to be able to meet people in real life who actually watch my videos and support what I do and how it's affected their lives. It's just been absolutely incredible. And also, look, it's David. This wouldn't be possible without you.
Man,
Thank
your
you
girl's
for everything
amazing.
You do. You are just my hero.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. Give me some love. Be back.
I might be back.
Some of you guys have to come here with her.
Yes, definitely. But it's just been amazing to actually get to see in person, in real life, the incredible work they do here at Forgotten Angels. You do not have to buy a raffle ticket to support these incredible human beings. You can donate direct to Forgotten Angels and support the work they do here. But it's just been a really, really good time. Everybody's been amazing. If you do come, bring some damn good earplugs. Because they stay up late here. It seems like the plan is that I am going to pack up. I'm going to stay here in Tampa for the night, do some laundry, and get those chores taken care of. But tomorrow, we're making Shade Tree Surgeon camp in a dang tent, and it's going to be a good time.
So we're back from camping. Amanda, Shade Tree, sous chef Jeff, and then Jess is chilling with Arthur. But it's just awesome to see all of us come together and make a meal. Our amazing chef is finally finished. Oh my god.
It's your house, baby.
So I'm gonna go back to sleep. Or I think
Beautiful people.
Good morning.
Yay.
What's so good about it?
Alrighty. The campout is over. I got to stay with the wonderful Shay and Shade Tree, and they fed me this morning because I am terribly spoiled. But today is the day. I am making Shade Tree Surgeon camp off of his bike. It's officially happening. I am mentally prepared for all of the complaining. How much complaining are you going to do?
All of it.
Complaining? Oh, listen up, baby.
Girl, what that mouth do?
Complain, all right? Of course I'm going to complain. You know, how would I ever get what I wanted if I didn't complain?
You know, people judge me for how much stuff I have on my bike. Do you guys see this?
I know, there's a lot of stuff on here before I ever put any of my camping stuff in here. The real problem isn't the camping stuff, though. The real problem is that it's just like when you have all the space in the world, you know, you tend to accumulate things. Like, most of the space is taken up by empty beer cans. And I just never cleaned out.
Oh my god. At least everything on my bike is useful. Did you just see that? He pulled out an empty beer can.
Recycling.
Well, we've officially made it. I'm pretty sure Shade Tree has officially regretted his decision to agree to do this with me. But there's...
One of these is a tent, allegedly. I actually didn't look inside the thing, so I hope like the stakes and stuff are in it.
I don't know if you just heard that, but he just alluded to not knowing if he brought his tent.
I mean, that sounds like tent poles, don't it?
The question is it all there?
I didn't check. I'm not doing it for the camera. I literally didn't check.
But as you can tell, there's quite a few people here and a few screaming children. You could have come to Montana, you know?
I wonder what this part is. Is this the... No, the regular part's got zippers on it.
I'm keeping that.
I can do it.
That's the rainfly, by the way.
Rainfly? I wouldn't dare rain on me. Oh, look, there's instructions.
This is the best. I love this so much.
I can do it.
I believe
I've
in
only
you.
got How many stakes could I possibly need?
I mean, you're gonna be holding it down.
Yeah, I just gotta freaking set it up, then jump inside real quick, and I'll be fine.
Just let me know if you need help.
Do I look like someone's ever needed help with anything in my life?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Oh, look at me. I was born to tent. Can't. What do you call it?
Born to tent.
Your camp? I don't know what the adjective is. There we go. That's the way it goes, man. You're done.
I would like to share with you the art form of my people. A very respected ritual. Respected.
Oh yeah? Let's see it.
Yes. Ta-da!
Thank you, Amanda.
You are most welcome. Rotini, asparagus, cherry tomatoes, broccoli, and a whole lemon for our sauce.
My gosh, it's so good.
Is it?
It is. This is delicious. It's vegetarian. Vegan, I guess, really.
It is vegan, actually.
So good. You're not a vegan, are you?
I am not a vegan.
This is great, though.
Good morning, beautiful people. Well, Shade Tree survived my torture test. I'm very proud of you. It is a gorgeous morning here. I didn't sleep too bad. We did both wake up because of the waves.
Spider.
You found a spider? I mean, you did leave your tent unzipped for an age.
Well, how's it supposed to air out?
I
I
think.
think you're supposed to zip them up.
Do you know what the mesh is for?
No, I don't know what nothing's for. It's all right. Being ignorant is fun. It's bliss, let me tell you.
I'm just giving him a hard time. I'm very proud of you. You did excellent.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I had a great time. It was absolutely beautiful, wonderful as always. But as usual, with any trip anywhere, it's not the scenery, it's not the bikes, it's the people that make it. And I had a great time. Thank you.
Yeah, you made the trip cross country worth it.
Oh, come on, don't cuss at me like that. You're my friend.
But I think we're gonna pack up. I don't know if I'm gonna find breakfast or not. I have no idea where I'm going today, but it'll be a good time. All right. Bike is packed up. No more tents. Everything is covered in sand and will be covered in sand for the next week. I'm going to blame Shade Tree for every time I undo my tent and sand comes out.
You know what? I just like people to remember me, okay? And the best way for someone to remember you is to be annoyed. It's my tough guy's sleeping bag. Look, that's not the best part. It's got a fun pattern on the inside. Look. Happy camper.
Spanish Mountain is so weird. It's so pretty, but it's so weird.
Why is it weird?
Like it just comes off in these giant humps and it's just...
Oh, the moss.
We are officially heading back west. I'm a little bit excited to start gaining time again instead of losing it. I think my goal today is to get to the Florida Caverns area. Might probably get a hotel tonight because I need to charge stuff. I haven't showered since before the Forgotten Angels Campout. All of those things. It would be nice to shower, get clean, get everything charged back up, and have a nice restart for the trip back across the country. I'm not gonna lie, either you guys, I am very tired. And I'm kind of relieved that I don't have a solid deadline for when I have to be back home. Obviously, my partner would like it if I got home sooner than later, but it means that if I need to stop earlier than I had planned and that kind of stuff on the way back, that I won't be as stressed about it. No 600, 700 mile days on the way back on this trip, thank goodness. But I should stop rambling and get on down the road. I'm gonna stop in Perry, Florida and find myself some brunch because my tummy is a rumbling. Alrighty, we have arrived at Florida Caverns State Park. The gal at the front gate told me that part of the cave is flooded right now, but they're still doing tours of about 75% of the cave. So I'm gonna go see if I can't snag a spot on the next tour. Thanks to the Civilian Conservation Corps, this park opened to the public in 1942 and encompasses 1,300 acres. The park not only protects this cavern, but also upland glades, upland hardwood forests, and upland pines, as well as floodplains and alluvial streams and spring run streams. The caves in the park provide habitat to the blind cave fish, cave salamanders, and 3 species of cave roosting bats. Well, that was a ton of fun. I'm very glad that I stopped and took the time to take the tour of the Florida Caverns State Park. We're gonna head to my hotel so that I can get some work done and decompress, relax for a little bit. Gotta dry out my footprint. It's still all wet and covered in sand. So it's gonna hang out on the bike for a little while. But welcome to home for the night. This is the Residence Hub in Marianna, Florida. It is only 5 o'clock, but I am so tired from the weekend at Forgotten Angels and riding across the country that I decided to give myself a break, make it a super short day today, come here so that I can shower, get some work done, and then just sleep. Hopefully for more than 6 hours this time. I've been averaging about 6 hours since I left Portland. It's been a few weeks without enough sleep, so that is the priority tonight. Also, I just want to tack on here in the end that things are looking up because I'm in a room that only cost $84. Pretty much the cheapest room that I've had this whole trip. And icing on the cake, there's a power strip that has USB plugs on it so I can charge more than 2 things at a time. I'm so happy you don't even know. Good morning, beautiful people. Well, it has finally happened. Doing this trip in the spring has caught up with me, and there was an absolute downpour last night, and it's still raining. Also, there's a tornado warning for the whole area that I'm riding through today. I mean, trying to look on the positive side, 2 things. One, I get to test out my new Nelson Rig rain suit that they sent me. It's the new one for the 2022 season. And also, my dear friend Maggie, if you might remember, if you've been around long enough, you watched my dispersed camping video, all about the rules and regulations to do it properly. And Maggie was in that video. She helped me make that. And it just worked out. Last night she texted me. She's like, wait, where are you? And I told her Marianna, Florida. And she's like, dude, we're at an RV park just down the road. And so I invited her to come have breakfast with me. Okay, I can't put it off anymore. I've got everything just about as packed as it's gonna get before it has to go back on the bike. So we do what we gotta do, and miles have to be made today. So we're gonna steal some fruit from the free breakfast at the hotel and then go meet Maggie for proper breakfast. So far, so good with the Nelson Rig suit. Really liking it. However, When I got to the restaurant earlier, the bottom of the mounting point for my handlebar camera broke. See, no handlebar camera besides the Insta360 for now. For right now, I have a small break in the rain, thank goodness. Doing the thing. Okay, we made it to Milton, and this place behind me, Kosei's place, is supposed to have really good gator bites, so we're gonna try alligator meat for the first time. I'm skeptical, but excited. Okay, official thoughts now after trying the gator meat. It doesn't have much of a flavor. Like, it's not like when you eat bison and how bison has like a little bit of a different flavor than regular burger. It's not like that at all. It's maybe halibut, but with the texture of chicken, kind of like that. Like how halibut just takes on whatever flavor, sauce, or whatever else you're eating with it. That's kind of how I would describe alligator meat. But definitely with like the texture of chicken. Now, whether or not like maybe it has more flavor if it's not deep fried and breaded, that's a possibility. If you tried alligator a different way from deep frying, let me know down in the comments if it has a different kind of flavor. The sauce that they served with it was pretty good too. Like, it was like the perfect amount of spicy, not like mouth on fire spicy, or at least for me, because I'm weak. But it was really good. Definitely come check out this place if you're ever in Milton. They were super sweet. The vibe inside is really good. It is definitely loud. Might not be able to hold a whole conversation, but it was a good time. I'm so glad that I came here. And now I just got confirmation from the wonderful woman who runs Eco Swamp Tours. I'm gonna head that direction and go do a swamp tour. Oh, I'm so excited. Maybe I'll finally get to see an alligator. Probably not, but you never know. Let's hit the road. Alright, beautiful people, I'm here with the wonderful Kathy from Eco Tours of South Mississippi, and she's been so kind to offer to take me out on the water today. You know that I haven't been on a boat in a very long time.
Oh. Well, good. This is a great way to do it. This is a real stable, platform.
And you guys do tours for the public, right?
Oh, yeah. We cover a good bit of ground, and I'll talk, on a tour I talk way more than you want to listen. But we tell you all about the ecosystems and plants and whatever wildlife we see. And since it's an extremely high tide today, I don't know how much wildlife we're going to get to see. But okay, we'll see.
It's so cool! My hair had some fun. Yeah. Had such a good time. Thank you so much for, legitimately. Thank you.
Well, thank you for making this a stop on your trip. I'm thrilled to meet you.
It was so cool. I did not get to see an alligator, but that's okay. I honestly wasn't expecting to because of all the rains. The water level is so high right now. But I got to see lots of really cool birds, and just experiencing the swamp from the water is totally different than driving by a road next to one. But this is just, I will remember this forever.
Oh, well, good. I'm so glad. Makes me feel good.
I mean, you know that I have to take a jacuzzi bathtub because I paid extra for it. So, really, I paid extra because this was the last ground floor room, and I'm too lazy to take all of my stuff up the stairs right now. I think this was $107 total with tax, which still better than California prices right now. Oh my gosh. So I think this is catfish.
Yeah.
This is
And
catfish.
shrimp.
And I've got yams. And then I've got shrimp. Oh my gosh, this looks so good.
Those baked sweet potatoes are going to be like candy.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. What did you get?
Shrimp Creole.
Shrimp Creole. It looks so good. I only have a little bit of regret now, but that's okay. I'm still excited. Officially trying catfish for the first time. Ooh. A different texture than I was expecting, but it's good. It's like a whitefish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
All right, I have made it back to the hotel room after a wonderful dinner with Kathy. Oh my gosh, that sweet potato though was so good. And the biscuits. The waiter was very kind and gave me an order of the biscuits to bring back with me, and that was awesome. You can probably hear the water going because I'm drawing myself a bath. You don't pay extra for a jacuzzi bathtub without using it, so I'm gonna use it. In the meantime, guys, I'll see you later. Good morning, beautiful people. We are heading back west. I stayed at this little hotel. Maybe not the best place ever, not the worst either, but I'm excited to hit the road today. Probably a short day today. I had only planned to go around 230, 250 miles. We're gonna check the state park that I was supposed to camp out today and find out if they have camping. There's been a bit of a pattern on this trip that I had lots of plans, so many backups for campsites. However, I didn't think about the fact that I was planning this trip during spring break season, so I haven't had the best of luck trying to find camping. So fingers crossed. If not, we're just gonna keep going until we're tired and find a place to stay. It's about time for me to quit talking and we're gonna hit the road. I feel like cemeteries are wonderful places to have picnics when there isn't a funeral happening. Grab some groceries at this little grocery store. I'm gonna head to the state park now and fingers crossed I can find a campsite. Sun's about to set, so I'll be making dinner in the dark. What else is new? Let's go. Okay, well, I am at the state park. The office was closed, so I just grabbed an envelope and came in. But look at this like cute little patio thing that's going on here. I love that. But I am losing the lights, so I'm gonna get my tent set up ASAP. Man, I am so glad that I made it here. I've never camped on like a little wooden platform like this before. This is super cool. Also, you do not even know how excited I am about dinner. It's all good. Well, it's not all good. There's a lot of bugs. Tonight we're gonna make some mushrooms, asparagus, green onions. I got cherry tomatoes on sale, and I still have some pasta left over that I bought when Shade Tree and I went camping. Good morning, beautiful people. I had a visitor in the night that stole a whole bag of granola. I didn't put my food back on the bike like I should have. I believe it was a raccoon. I did not see it. As far as I know right now, I think that's the only thing that they took. Just a reminder to always put all of your food, all of the stuff away, because critters will come. I feel bad because now I have participated in whatever creature it was. Still pretty sure that it was a raccoon, associating with humans with free food, and that sucks. But all I can do is do better next time and make sure that I put all of my food away in a place where they can't easily get it. My clothes are a little bit cold this morning, so I've stuffed them into my sleeping bag and I'm waiting for them to warm up before I get dressed. And right now I'm just enjoying listening to the birds. I being a tad bit lazy and only eating sauteed mushrooms when I could make like mushroom tacos or something? Yes. The mushrooms had to get eaten this morning because they're not going to survive the ride today, but I'm lazy. And I gotta get packed up because we gotta make miles today. The goal is to get somewhere in Texas today, and that's 300 miles. So I need to get my butt out of here by like 9:30, 9:45. So there's just not enough time to just make a fancy breakfast. Well, there is, but not on the timetable that I have put myself to. There's always time for food, and I did make food. It's just not very fancy, that's all. God, I love fried mushrooms so much. I am in Elizabeth, Louisiana. Anyway, I was trying to make my plans for tonight. My goal was to camp at this really cool place where you can camp with llamas in Texas. However, due to my poor planning and my reluctance to reserve stuff more than a day or two ahead of time, means that she has no spots for me. I was just like, it's just me and my tent and my motorcycle. I'm itty bitty, and she said no room. Get as far as I can today. I'm not gonna rush now that I know that I'm not gonna get to camp with llamas. Just means that I have to come back to Texas, I suppose, or find somewhere else that I can camp with llamas. I'm a little bit bummed because I was really excited about that, but you live, you learn, and we're gonna hit the road. Well, we have made it to Athens, Texas. According to the front desk person, I somehow also have landed myself in one of the few places in Texas that you cannot find a decent steak. But I do need to hit Walmart and pick up some new SD cards and that kind of stuff and get those kinds of errands run while I have the time, since I checked in early, it's 5:30. And then spend the rest of the evening backing up SD cards. It's very thrilling over here. So thrilling. Maybe even attempt to steam my hat so it's back in the right shape. I haven't been wearing it the last few days because that downpour that I experienced may have misshapen my hat just a smidge, so it needs some tender love and affection. Good morning, beautiful people from Athens, Texas. We have loaded up the bike. It is 9 o'clock. We're heading to the Waco Mammoth National Monument today, and we're gonna hit the road. visited the Waco National Monument, excuse the birds, and I came to downtown Waco and had some sushi. I'm heading to Temple because I thought that I was going to go to Austin tomorrow to get my tire replaced. However, all the shops that had a tire that would have fit my bike are closed on Sundays. Today is Saturday. Just gonna cross my fingers at this point. We're gonna go to Temple, enjoy the hotel that I did book, and hit the road again tomorrow and hope that my tire holds out. I guess that's all that I can do right now. Welcome to Temple, Texas. I am at a Motel 6, which is admittedly nicer than I was expecting it to be. So that's cool. To be totally honest, you guys, today has not been a good day. It's just not been a good brain day. And I don't know what it was, because like I left this morning totally fine. And somewhere between Athens and Waco, Texas, my brain just did a flip. And it has not been good since then. And I am glad that I forced myself to go to the Waco Mammoth National Monument because that was really neat and I enjoyed that. And I was there for like an hour. I sketched a little bit and that did help. I also spent an hour on the phone with my mom and dad. That also helped a lot. It's been a day. On top of that, I have the stress that my front tire it needs to be changed soon. I spent like 20 minutes, 30 minutes on the phone with Ride Now in Austin, trying to figure out if they had a tire that would fit my bike, and then realizing they were going to be closed on Sundays, and they were really kind and tried to help me find a different shop that would be open tomorrow. We were unsuccessful, which has left me in my current dilemma of deciding whether or not I'm just going to take a 0 day tomorrow and get the tire replaced in Austin, or if I push it and just see how far it can take me and maybe double back to El Paso Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Right now I'm gonna go do laundry and then I'll take a shower and see if it doesn't clear my head up a little bit. I love warm clothes. Well, as you can probably tell, I feel a lot better this morning. Incredible what a night's sleep and some good food, a shower, and clean clothes can do to make you feel a little bit better. I was a bit down in the dumps yesterday. Ultimately, I have decided to just stay in this cheap room in Temple, Texas for another night, wait until Monday, and go get my new tire in Austin, Texas from Ride Now. I don't have my satellite messenger anymore. That got ran over at the beginning of the trip. I will link that down in the description if you missed that episode. So if for whatever reason, if the bike broke down because of a tire that I could have replaced right now just by waiting a whole day. And you know, I don't want to roll the dice about potentially experiencing a flat that I can't repair in the middle of West Texas where there's nothing and I don't have cell service. So we're just not going to do that. So everything that I had planned after this has been delayed about 2 days. And so I spent the morning reorganizing my schedule, letting people who need to know that things have been delayed a bit. I have an appointment for a pedicure this afternoon, and if you know me, I don't do those kinds of things. However, I have a big toenail problem that I will spare you the details of, but it has been very painful. Looking on the bright side again, now that my brain has had a moment to reset. That's what I'm gonna call it. Yeah, I'm gonna go to my appointment. Good morning, beautiful people. I had a wonderful rest day yesterday. I got my toe taken care of. It is much less painful today. Grateful for that. Today is the day that we're gonna leave this hotel room, hopefully head to Austin and get a tire. The shop doesn't open until 9, so I'm gonna take that time to clean up the chaos that has exploded across this room and somehow get it to all fit back on my bike. And also, of course, take advantage of the last breakfast that I paid for here at the hotel, aka Texas waffles. I'm also gonna call a hat shop. I tried to flatten the brim on my cowboy hat yesterday with an iron the way the internet told me to, and it kind of worked, but it's still not totally fixed. So there is a hat cleaning shop on my way to Austin, so I'm gonna call them when they open at 9 too and see if, I don't know, if they offer reshaping services. But first, breakfast. Shiny new rubber, Pirelli MT60 RS. But it feels so nice to have brand new rubber, you guys don't even know. Thanks so much to the people at Ride Now. And now we're gonna go find some food. Certainly better than it was, that's for sure. I don't think strapping it to my bike's gonna make it any better, but it's gotta go somewhere.
Call it off and don't look back. Take me off this lonely track. All my worries of yesterday, I can't seem to get away.
we've made it to camp for the night.
We were so wild and free. We were just kids in love. I gave you the best of me. And all I was asking of you was to never break it.
We are at Enchanted Rock State Natural Area in Texas. There isn't a whole lot of privacy at this campground, but it was nice and it was cheap, which is good because I had a very expensive day today. But while I was in Austin, I stopped at a dumpling restaurant called Steamers. I wanted to get soup dumplings, however, I found out that they only do that like one day a week. So I ended up with these pot stickers, which I am very excited about. The reviews are really good. And they made them fresh, like right in front of me. And then I went next door and I had ramen. Both were very good. Very happy that I went, especially because I had the forethought to keep the pot stickers for dinner. So all I had to do was reheat them. And I'm very happy about that decision. They're chicken and mushroom. And they're so good. If you're curious about how I ended up with a campsite in Texas after complaining for a whole week about it not being possible to find camping, it's because I reserved the site yesterday. And I reserved tomorrow's campsite as well. So I don't have any other choice but to do the miles to Monaghan tomorrow. I just kind of accepted that the only way that I was going to be able to camp the rest of the way out of Texas was just to reserve a site. And since I was at a hotel room yesterday, I had a 0 day. I had the time and forethought to plan it out and be able to do that, which is just not always possible when you're on the road and you don't know where you're going to be the next day. But since today was a very expensive day, getting a brand new tire, I needed the room in my budget. So we are camping today and tomorrow, and hopefully the next day, knock on wood, we'll be in New Mexico in 2 days' time, which is very exciting. Good morning, beautiful people. It was a rough sleep out here with the wind banging about. Such is how it goes. That's why we have headphones. So I didn't wake up as much as I probably would have without the headphones. The sky is overcast, but the clouds are moving so fast right now. Pack up my stuff because we have 300 odd miles to go today. And now having crossed Texas at least once, I know that 300 miles is going to take me a while today. So I want to get started as soon as possible. Lunch here at Twisted Root in San Angelo. It was really, really good. I had a bison burger and I feel so much better now. Man, there's like nothing that takes the oomph out of you like fighting the wind for 100 miles. I really hope it lets up, but I don't think it's going to. Got 170 miles to go. Let's do it. Well, I've made it to Monaghan Sandhills, and it's a little windy. I don't know how well this is gonna go. Oh yeah. We tried. I'm pretty sure there's a pound of sand in my tent already. I can't get it up. It doesn't matter how much stuff I put in it to try to weigh it down. And of course the battery died. So you didn't get to see that, but I'm done. We're moving on. I tried. And as I was packing up the bike, an older gentleman approached me from his RV. Evidently him and his wife had been watching me struggle to put up my tent in the wind, and they wanted to offer me a place to stay in their RV, which was incredibly kind, and I thanked him for his generosity, but at that point I was so worked up I knew that I just would not be good company. So I told him very kindly that I was not going to take him up on his offer and I was going to go find a hotel for the night. The wind is 30 miles per hour right now. I can't. I'm going to New Mexico. I'm going to Carlsbad. I'm going to get a hotel there. I don't even know right now what the name of this hotel is, but it is really nice. And it was only like $120 or something like that. And the guy who checked me in was very kind and let me park my bike in front of the room because I told him that was the only reason I was going to stay. My eyes are all bugged out from sand being blasted in them. That was quite the ride. It's still very windy here. I think it's better than where I was. Wow. Well, good morning, beautiful people. I slept like a baby. I was so tired. It is quite later this morning than I have been getting up the last few days, which was worth it. Breaking into my fruit stash for breakfast this morning. I need to catch up on some work and then we'll pack up the bike and hit the road this morning. I also need to look up online to see if I can even get tickets for Carlsbad. Definitely do your own research if you're trying to visit any of the national parks because some of them are requiring ticketed entrance for specific times now. Confirmed that you do need reservations to enter the Carlsbad Cave. You have to make those reservations 48 hours in advance. I don't know what I'm doing today. I'm gonna finish eating and pack up the bike, catch up on my work, and then contemplate my life choices. Now that I've got some breakfast in me, I stopped here at the Pecos River Cafe. It was really good. I have decided that even though I don't get to go to Carlsbad today, I bought tickets for tomorrow morning. So I'm going to hang around the Carlsbad area for the rest of the day. There is a state park, like literally in town, that I wanted to look at anyway. Gotta go find a good campsite, hang out here for the day. Tomorrow morning, we'll go to Carlsbad Caverns. My helmet still smells like sand. It's funny how after you've had food, the outlook on life is just totally different. Is that just me? Ooh, it's warm today. Right, I got to walk around the Living Desert Zoo and Garden, and that was kind of neat. I got to see the beautiful gray wolves and just like have a nice chill afternoon. And now we're gonna go to the grocery store, grab some food, and see if we can't find a place to camp. Fingers crossed. If not, we'll just come back to town and get a hotel room, and we'll hit Carlsbad Caverns tomorrow. And just like that, I'm back to eating my sandwiches in the parking lot of a grocery store. Can't stop, won't stop. I think that we have found a campsite, and I like being up on the hill. It's a nice change from all of the flat.
Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now.
So I did buy a bunch of groceries to make like proper dinner tonight when I thought that the wind level was going to be the same that it was in town. Obviously that was not correct. It is much windier out here than it was in town. So I'm just gonna eat some French bread and some peanut butter, but I think I'm just gonna be super boring and just lay here, read a book, wait for the sun to go down, try to get some sleep. Hopefully I don't wake up too much during the night because of the wind, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, the wind didn't quit until 7 a.m. this morning. At one point, like the whole tent was just like leaning this way because the wind changed directions. But the important thing is that it's calmed down now, so that I don't have to try to pack up in that hellacious wind. But we're going to Carlsbad this morning, so at least we have a good motivator. Everything is covered in a very fine layer of dust or sand. Almond butter and bread. An excellent idea.
When the stars glow bright, the summer's old. In the misty bright moonlight, monsters. And you kept holding my hand as you reached for water.
Oh, it's happening. We're going down. My ears have already popped twice. Oh. Oh, here we go. We're at Carlsbad Caverns National Park. This place, wow. Wow, wow. All I can say is wow. Carlsbad was definitely above and beyond my expectations. That was absolutely incredible. If you do come here, highly recommend getting the audio guide because that was just on a whole other level of information that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. There are plaques all over there in the cavern that are informational, but having the audio tour was really, really nice, and I'm glad that I got that. God, it was so cool. I'm not gonna get over that for a while. Now we're going to head towards White Sands. We're not gonna go to White Sands today, but I'm gonna camp in a national forest north of there, and then we'll hit White Sands tomorrow. We better hit the road though. I've made it to the cutest little town of Cloudcroft. I did not know this town was here or that it was this just aesthetically pleasing. Or at least it is to me. And it is cold here. Wow. Oh, good. So the reason I'm cold is because it's 46 degrees, real feel 42 because of the wind. And it's supposed to get down to 30 degrees tonight. Yikes. I did have all of the intentions to go camping until I saw the snow. I did find a Super 8 that's 30 minutes down the road. So unfortunately, we're going to leave Cloudcroft, even though it is the cutest town. So I know that I will be back. But for now, we carry on. And we're going to stay at a Super 8 tonight because it's within my budget and I do really need the Wi-Fi to upload a video, so. Oh well. But what an awesome discovery. This is so cool. We have made it to the Super 8. Might not be the best room that I've stayed in, but it was within the budget and that was the priority. I could smack Planning Amanda right now for not realizing that that area was at elevation and that it was going to be very cold in March. It felt so good to be in the mountains again and to see trees and to be in a national forest. I can't even explain to you like how light my heart felt just seeing trees and hills again. Ugh, I will always be a mountain lady. I can't help it. And every time I go for a span of time in the plains or like in the lowlands, as I call them, and I see just hills with trees on them again, my heart is just so happy. So today was very, very good. Today was a very good day. Going from Carlsbad, which was just incredible. I still have no words, you guys. That was an amazing, amazing experience. So going from Carlsbad to the Lincoln National Forest, being up in a mountain again, and then coming down and seeing the Rockies. I am a happy mountain lady today. It was a good day. I'm gonna make myself some dinner. The dinner that I was supposed to make for myself yesterday, but couldn't because of the wind. And tomorrow we get to go to White Sands. Good morning, beautiful people. We're gonna pack up and we're going to White Sands today. I'm very excited. Getting my workout in by carrying very, very heavy bags downstairs and not dying. You should really just get backpack straps for this thing. White Sands National Park is the largest gypsum dune field in the world, covering 275 square miles. There are also quite a few stories around this area, including the legend of Pablo Blanca. It goes that in early 1540, a Spanish conquistador left his betrothed in Mexico City to accompany Coronado in search of the 7 cities of gold. They were ambushed by warrior Apaches on the edge of the Great White Sands, and our Spanish conquistador sadly perished in the dunes. His betrothed is said to have set out seeking for him and was never seen again. She is said to come nightly in her flowing white wedding gown to seek out her lover, lost and buried beneath the dunes. Some say that the ghostly figure usually appears as the evening breezes sweep up just after sunset. Or it could be the eddies of dust from the evening winds, but where's the fun in that? It's otherworldly, but I'm going to enjoy my time here, and then from here we're going to head to a campsite in the western half of New Mexico, or the southwest corner of New Mexico, I should say. And we'll go see the cliff dwellings tomorrow because I don't think that I'll have enough light by the time that I get there tonight. There's around 200 miles between me and there, and it's already around noon. So I'm just going to plan to do that tomorrow. And enjoy the sunshine. Goodbye, White Sands. You were beautiful, but we gotta make miles. We have made it to Las Cruces. Made it to the top of this amazing pass. The riding has been amazing, and I can't tell you how happy I am to be in the mountains again. I feel so good. It's difficult to explain. The best I've got is once a mountain girl, always a mountain girl. Welcome to home for the night. It's beautiful here. I'm just happy to be amongst the trees. And also this campsite's really, really close to the cliff dwelling, so I don't have to go far to go tomorrow. Okay, I have tuna, a potato, green onions, a lemon, and sardines. And I've got powdered eggs and trail butter. And I do have some rice left and cashews. What I also have is 2 more dehydrated meals. So I think I'm gonna have one of my dehydrated meals courtesy of 2 Vegans, 2 Wheels. Thank you guys so much. You do not know how long you have fed me. So I'm just gonna make this because it's gonna be easy and quick, and the light's gonna leave me here soon. Good morning, beautiful people. It got a wee bit chilly last night, and you know how I know? Because there's frost all over my bike. But I would say this spot was worth it. God, it's beautiful here. I just feel like this is where I was supposed to be. My brain needed this time in the mountains really bad. That probably sounds really sappy and weird, but so good. I'm gonna crawl back into my sleeping bag and wait for the sun to crest the hill. So maybe it'll be a little bit warmer. Let's make some tea. Just for my fellow tea drinkers who go camping, I did find a collapsible diffuser so that I can have loose leaf tea when I'm on the road. And it has worked out pretty well so far. It kind of is a little bit too small for the Sea to Summit X mug, so it kind of just floats on top. But I haven't had any issues with it like dunking below the level of the water or anything like that. And then you just pull it out by the little handle. It has been really nice to be able to bring my loose leaf tea. I have a lot of herbal loose leaf teas for like my anxiety and stress and that kind of stuff. So it's been really nice to be able to bring this along with me on this trip. And I wish that I had found it sooner. So for my fellow tea drinkers who prefer loose leaf, I'll try to find a version of this and link it down in the description because it has been life-changing. And it's my go-to diffuser when I'm home too, because it's so much easier to clean than my other diffusers. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. But today we're having ginger tea in a bag so that I don't have to clean the diffuser. Sometimes tea bags are just easier, especially when you're not close to a water source. And there's no water here at this campground because it's free, it's primitive. It's just better to assume that I need to be precious with my water. And so I will do so. I think I have about 2 liters left in my little Water X, and I think about a quarter or half a gallon left in the Moto jug, and then I've got 16 ounces in my water bottle over here. So I grew up with a cistern at our house. Our water had to be pumped from a spring on our property up to a cistern at our house. So anytime you wanted to take a shower or do laundry or something that was really water intensive, you had to go and check the cistern level to make sure that you had enough water to do what you wanted to do. I mean, and we had a pretty big cistern. I think it was like 800 or 1,000 gallons or something like that. So it wasn't often an issue, but if it was low, you had to turn on the pump and wait for the pump to pump the water up to the cistern. And so I've always been pretty aware of my water usage. And I know that not a lot of people grow up that way. They're accustomed to turning the tap on and just expecting water to come out. And there was quite a few winters where our pipes froze. So then we had to haul water until the pipes defrosted. So I am in a unique situation where it's second nature to be aware of how much water I'm carrying and how much I'm using and to be precious with it and not waste it. I think if you grew up in a house where you're just accustomed to turning the tap on and water comes out and you don't think about where that water is coming from or how much you're using, it might be a bit of a challenge to do these like primitive camping situations where there isn't water and you need to be precious with that water, especially if you don't know the next place you're going to get water. Gas station people are often very, very kind if you ask. And I always offer to pay because there are parts of the United States where water is very, very precious. I've never had to pay thus far if they have a tap or if they have a soda machine that has a little water button on it. I've never had to pay for that. It's just good to be aware of your water consumption. I don't know what I'm going on about now. I'm gonna drink my tea. I'm still working on getting used to the powdered eggs. Like, they definitely do taste like regular scrambled eggs. I definitely recommend them. I'm just still trying to work out how much in the cup is enough for me. But I'm gonna eat this now because it looks delicious. Well, I'm fed. Kitchen stuff is cleaned up. I suppose it's probably time to pack up the tent and get moving. But out of all of the places that I've camped on this trip, I feel like I could stay here a couple days. Oh, I love this so much. We got places to go, people to see. Let's pack up. The saddest part of the morning. The Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument protects a series of prehistoric sites, which are the only unit in the national park system that protects a site that was inhabited by the Magpie people. The preserved architecture dates from the late 1200s, which makes the site over 800 years old. The Magpie were mountain and desert dwellers whose homeland was a huge territory stretching from Arizona through New Mexico and down through northern Mexico. They grew out of a long tradition of hunters and mainly supported themselves through the animals they hunted, gathering wild plants, and domesticated corn and squash. Something that set them apart from other peoples of their time was that they grooved their stone axes 3/4 of the way around the surface and built large rectangular rooms for ceremonies and communal gatherings. The Gila Cliff Dwellings is thought to be one of the last places inhabited by these peoples, and they are thought to only have lived here for about 20 years, and they chose this place to settle because of the permanent spring below the cliffs. I highly recommend making a stop at the Gila Visitor Center and checking out the museum there and the little documentary that they play in the back of the building. It's wonderful to experience this site with more context about how the people lived here. I just finished the hike to the Gila Cliff Dwellings. It was so cool. I started the hike at like 12:30 and it's 3 o'clock now. I spent quite a bit of time up there. I talked to the ranger for a little while that's up there. He was very, very kind and he showed us where the petroglyphs were that's up there. I also spent a goodly amount of time just drawing one part of the dwellings because it just looked so, so cool. I enjoyed my time up there very, very much. And I didn't talk to the camera at all up there because it just felt like someplace you needed to be quiet. I mean, obviously there were other people up there that didn't obviously agree with that sentiment, but I guess that's the nature of like going to a national monument on a Saturday. But I also just felt like a place that you need to be there for a little while. You need to take it in. If you do come here, I hope that you go up and I hope that you spend a little bit of time there because I think it's a very special place. As for what we're doing now, my goal was to get to the Chiricahua Mountains or Chiricahua National Monument, but I don't think might not happen. I don't know. Like 174 miles from here, and it's already 3 o'clock, and the sun's been going down at 7, like on the dot, so I would have to get there by 6 to set up my tent and everything before the sun went down. But I'm also not going to beat myself up if I don't make it that far and have to stay in a hotel room, especially since I had a free camping spot last night, so yeah. I'm going to get everything out of my packable backpack. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to tell you. I'm so glad, like, I have this silly Eddie Bauer backpack that's like packable, so it packs down to like that big. But I'm really, really glad that I had it for today so that I could take everything out of my tank bag and put it in this backpack so it was just a nicer carry. I do have one little arm strap sling on the tank bag, so it's easy to take off of stuff and take into like grocery stores and stuff with me. But it's not nice to carry for long periods of time. So that hike is 1.2 miles. It's only like 182 feet of elevation, but that elevation is pretty steep at the end and it's all stairs. And so I'm really glad that I had an actual backpack. I could get a bigger strap for the tank bag. I think that would be better because then I could crossbody and it wouldn't be so uncomfortable. But yeah, packable backpacks for the win. I probably would have spent more time up there had I been able to bring some snacks, but there's no food allowed, just plain water, which I totally understand to preserve the site. But it meant that I had to come back down sooner than I wanted to so that I could eat some food and get my blood sugar back up. So I'm just gonna pack the bike back up and we'll make some miles. Yeah, we're going to Arizona. One way or the other, we'll end up in Arizona tonight. Alrighty, we have made it to Silver City, New Mexico. It is 5:30 because I got stuck behind somebody who didn't want to go faster than 19 miles per hour on the Forest Service Road. Anyway, now the goal is just to get into Arizona and I'll probably just find a cheap hotel. Fingers crossed I can find a cheap hotel. My goal is just to keep it under 119 so that I can keep it within my budget for the rest of the end of the trip here. Dinner has been acquired. I'm not just eating edamame. There's also, yeah, steamed veggies. Because I'm lazy and there's a microwave. This room is good enough for tonight. The bed is nice and soft. Actually, the room is quite big. There's like this big thing back here and not a bad room for $80. I just realized what's kind of off with this room. There's nothing on the walls besides that mirror. Okay, there's nothing hanging on the walls. I don't think I've ever been into a hotel that doesn't have anything on the walls. This is weird. Good morning, beautiful people from Wilcox, Arizona. I'm currently on the tail end of my cross-country trip. And today we're heading to Tucson so that I can go to the Saguaro National Park and maybe meet up with a very good friend. We'll see how that goes. I'm almost packed up. I gotta get the rest of everything back on the bike and then we'll hit the road. Look who I found!
Hey everybody.
We had lunch here at Good Vibes. It was pretty good.
Very good, yeah.
Yes. He had a veggie burger.
I did, very healthy.
Yeah, I didn't actually document our food, I'm sorry. But here's evidence. He lives, he's still making content. Please go watch it.
Yep.
I will link his channel again down in the description. But I'm so glad I have to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Safe travels.
Thank you. They're gonna go do other fun things. I'm being abandoned. It's okay.
Busy weekend.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and look at saguaros. Because, you know, what else do you do in Tucson? Don't answer that question. Tim and Bob just left to go tackle their fun plans that they had for this weekend, and now I'm going to go to Saguaro National Park. It was so good to get to see Tim and catch up, and it's always just good to talk to a fellow YouTuber, you know, and especially one that shares the same niche, and we do things kind of similarly. And definitely go and support him because he's got exciting things coming in the future. I'm stoked for him, but also no spoilers. I spent some time here at the visitor center, watched a nice little movie, and all of a sudden it is now 5:30. So I don't think we're going to get very far tonight, so I have just decided to get a hotel room in Tucson, a cheap Motel 6. Tomorrow is going to be the beginning of the long haul back to my truck. So I'm going to enjoy the sunset here in Saguaro National Park. Feels weird. Feels really weird. But for right now, let's go enjoy the saguaro. Am I the only one that looks back at my parking spot to make sure that I didn't lose anything pulling out? Saguaro National Park protects the giant saguaro, a universal symbol of the American West that only grows in the Sonoran Desert. An adult saguaro is generally considered to be about 125 years of age. It may weigh 8 tons or more and be as tall as 50 feet. The average lifespan of a saguaro is probably 150 to 175 years, but biologists believe that some plants may live over 200 years old. You know, I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again because it's still true. Light has so much with how we perceive the world. And getting to spend like sunset, like golden hour or blue hour in the morning at a very special place like this is just magical. It makes the place look totally different, you know? Light is amazing. God. It's beautiful out here. I'm glad that I caught this. That I was able to be here for this. It's so cool. Ah. Welcome to the Motel 6 of North Tucson. It is very bare bones, but it was under $100, which is what I needed. I've made plans tomorrow night to stay with Eric and Lisa of Wolfman Luggage over in Palm Springs. So this is really just a stop off. We're gonna do a quick little bit of work. We're gonna go to bed. We're gonna get up early and we're gonna go to Palm Springs. And then the next day, we're gonna make it all the way to Sacramento. That is the plan. That is what's happening. Gosh darn. Okay, I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, beautiful people from Tucson, Arizona. Today is a long haul. Well, long haul. It's a little bit under 400 miles. It's not terrible, but it's definitely a longer day than I have done in a few days. So I'm calling it a long haul. We're burning daylight, so we better get the bike packed up and we're gonna... It's freeway day. Not my favorite, but sometimes it just has to be done. There comes a point when all I want to do is just go home. It may sound like blasphemy to some people, but I do reach a point in every trip where I just want to be in my own bed and have all of the creature comforts of my own home. At the same time, though, this point of the journey never really feels real to me until I get home. All right, I've got my little water bead thing to try to counteract the fact that it's going to be 90 today. Bike is packed. But I am out of SD cards again, so we're gonna go stop at a Target, pick up more SD cards, and then we're gonna hit the road. Not doing too shabby. It's not quite 9 yet. I feel like I'm doing good.
I heard a ringing bell this morning, and it woke me from a dream. And in that dream I heard a warning, saying leave the rest, take only what you need. So keep on singing to those who listen, 'cause you can make it on your own. Time goes slowly, the world gets lonely when you got no one on your side. You gotta love one another, sister and brother, 'cause you only got one ride.
You ready?
Yeah, YouTube.
Are you ready? Are you ready to be on the camera?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay. I just met these wonderful human beings at, how did I say it? Curacao Summit?
Yeah,
Scirocco Summit. I keep saying it wrong. What was your ministry?
Oh,
Give me a
Dios' Nation. It's a Christian motorcycle club. This is Randy, and I'm Isaiah. And our ministry is Jesus and motorcycles and loving on people. So, yeah, look
I
at
can
that.
always agree with that. I'll leave it linked down in the description. Thank you guys so much for hanging out
Hey,
with me.
awesome. Thank you.
They're going to lead me into Palm Springs.
Yeah, Palm Springs. Woo!
Miles into a 500-mile day, I stopped in San Fernando for gas. Guess how much gas was? $6.28 a gallon. It's great to be back in California. I'm very grateful for Lisa and Eric, who boiled me a couple of eggs before I left their home in Palm Springs so that I would have snacks on the road. I'm very spoiled. last fill up of the bike, 6.39 per gallon. Ouch, ouch, ouch. We have 75 miles to go. We got this. I just realized that this is literally the last 75 miles that I will be riding this bike on this trip, because I will be loading it into my truck tomorrow and then driving the last big stretch from Sacramento to Portland, Oregon. I don't have anything stoic or meaningful or super deep to say about it, just that it's been a long trip. Maybe I'll have something more thoughtful to say tomorrow evening after I've had time to reflect. Not on the bike, not being tailgated in the dark. Let's get ourselves to a bed, shall we? Made it. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Good morning, beautiful people from Sacramento, California. More specifically, that one guy's garage. They were very gracious and kind and hosted me last night when I got in at a little bit after 11 p.m. I forgot that I left my Las Vegas Stetson in my truck, so it feels wonderful to have a hat on my head again that has not been through a Florida rainstorm and maybe isn't in the best shape currently. So that feels good. I've been unloading the bike slowly, putting the luggage back in my truck so that this is a little bit easier to load. A couple more things to pull off the bike, and then I'll back the truck up and we'll load the bike into the truck, and then we'll be on our way to Portland. Wow. This is the end, you guys. Wild. Wow. Crazy. Thank you so much.
Oh, so happy. Here.
Loaded up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know what I would have done without you guys, to be honest. It would have been a total mess. It's now been a couple months since I arrived home, and I feel like I'm still processing this trip. I've gone on a few trips since then, and I think the biggest thing I want to share with you here is this. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the time to rest. Then, get up off your butt, go outside, and go do the thing. It's not going to happen unless you make it happen. There's never going to be the perfect time. Things will not align exactly the way you expect them to. Embrace the imperfections and stay flexible. The small moments are what make up a trip. Thank you all so much for watching this series. I hope that you enjoyed it. A huge shout out to my patrons on Patreon and everyone who donated gas money over on Instagram. You're the only reason I was able to complete this trip. Thank you. And in the meantime, guys, I'll see you later.